look as if he's just come straight away for the Green Brigade.
Aye, with a meeting at 6:30, mate.
Yes, Jason, and we're back. No technical difficulties this time. It's my name's Ryan Clifford, and it's a Celtic Unrestricted View, and I'm joined by Jason tonight. Jason, well, mate, it's still -9 in Glasgow. It's absolutely freezing. Celtic won again. Fortress at Parkhead. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. It's good to be back on. Still not getting rid of this cold, but it's because I keep walking about in -9 temperature, mate. So I thought you sort of been used to it by now, but nah, glad to be back, mate. Hope you're all good and all.
I'm all good, mate, but again, sorry for the listeners and the viewers who watch YouTube. A bit of technical difference over the old the old phone there. So, but aye, Jason, as you say, mate, it's still minus cold, -9. It's freezing. It's Baltic in Glasgow. Let's be fair, mate. Let's start with the match itself. Let's be fair, mate. We did kind of think we would win the game. We weren't going to go and make predictions, i.e., how many we're going to win by or how the game is going to go. We just thought that obviously Livy would come and try and, as usual, mate, I don't want to be disrespectful, but let's be fair, park the bus. It's surely the only way some of these teams can come to Celtic Park and actually try and get a result. But I thought we've done very well, mate, the first half especially. Don't want to criticise the team too much because when you go so many goals in front, it is kind of hard to kind of get up for the second half and go and put the same show on as well for the fans. So second half's a tiny, I don't want to say boring, but it wasn't as entertaining as the first half. But all in, Jason, good performance in terms of getting the 3 points. For me, Jason, I don't think we're out of second gear once again. I think we keep saying that of the podcast now. We're all out of second gear, but we're winning quite easily. But all in all, mate, good winning. Still top of the league.
Aye, I thought the first half we were absolutely, it was just a one-way traffic. I think we probably took our foot off the gas in the second half a wee bit, but the first half was utterly dominant. Livingston were just trying to play a defensive counter-attacking football. They were at 5 at the back, which we expected. Remember the last time we played Livingston at Celtic Park, they gave us a wee bit of scare. They always give us a no bad game. Livingston, they're a good team in their own right. Martindale's done a really good job with them. But I just thought the first half we were everything just clicked and we were just brilliant. But Taylor's goal was really good. Before he even scored, it was the goal was coming. But not very, very happy with it. Ryan, I don't think we've got to second gear this full season. And that's frightening. Even that's, I find it really hard to put any words that we don't really need to play that well and we still win 3 and 4-0. It just shows you the job that the Big Ange has done. I was really, really happy. I just think that the football we play is, I've never seen football like it. It's so tight, it's so compact. It's really, really good to watch. But I was really, really happy with yesterday, man. I thought we took care of the game, and it was pretty convincing. It was never in any doubt.
No, I agree with you, Jason. I definitely agree with you in terms of nobody out of second gear. Maybe the game at Celtic Park against my other mob, game against United, a few other games that you can pinpoint, but in terms of the full season as a whole, I don't think we've been amazing. But like you say, I don't think we've had to be amazing. I really do believe I'm going to include the dark side in this. Celtic and them, the rest of the league, I do feel there's a bit of a gulf now in terms of the top 2 teams in the rest of the league. I think even Hearts, I do believe that Celtic and our rivals, we are really kind of going away from the other teams in the league. And I do believe between us and the other side, there is a gulf as well. So I do believe, like you say, Jason, we're not having to play our best football, but that's because we don't need to. Other teams are not good enough to beat us. As it stands, I know St Mirren beat us, but that was, from my opinion, Jason, that was down to us make too many changes. Maybe take St Mirren maybe too lightly, I don't know, but we just, for whatever reason, it just didn't happen for us that day. But ever since then, mate, we've not looked back. I think it's 2 years and a bit since we've been beat at Celtic Park domestically, which is brilliant. Don't really hear that from media, but do you, that Celtic been unbeaten and we've only lost one game in so many, and
No,
it's for the fans, it's for us, it's podcasts, it's fans, it's in the pubs, in your work. That's when you hear it, but you don't hear it on the media. So for me, Jason, I totally agree, mate, and it's scary. I don't know what you feel, Jason, but for me, it's scary for the rest of Scottish football. Well, it should be that Celtic have not really been firing all cylinders in terms of performance-wise. Maybe the results, yes, but we've not been great every game. But like you say, mate, we've not had to be great.
no, we've no, and I do agree with you. I think the gulf is. I think there's a gulf between third and second, but I also think there's a bigger gulf between first and second. I just die that it's clear to see that, you know, I mean, if that's Hearts or maybe the third best team in Scotland, then, well, God help us, really. But I just, the fact that we have no coming out of second gear and we're no, I wouldn't say we're not firing all cylinders. I think we're still playing the same football, but I think sometimes it's a wee bit harder for us. Maybe we're not scoring as quick as what we did last year. Maybe that's because it's. But I think we look a lot fitter than we did last year. But no, listen, mate. I think as you say, I would be worried if I was any other team in Scotland that's coming up against us. And the fact that if you go away for Celtic Park, like Livingston did last night, and you get beat 3-0, you're like, that's a result.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Because again, for me, I'm only speaking for me. There's been a few teams I think that have came to Celtic Park this year and they've not actually played that bad, but they've had a go and they've been put to the sword. St Johnstone done it, St Mirren done it, and I don't actually think that they played that bad, but they get battered. Do you know what I mean? Also Morton, I know they came out and had a good go. We know how that one ended, so it's one of those ones. It doesn't seem to be how teams set up. We'll always seem to find a way, even when we're not playing or firing on all cylinders, as we're saying. But I think it's just testament to the team that he's built, and it's just that we've got this desire that we're, no matter what, we'll win a game of football. I think the St Mirren defeat probably gave us a wee kick up the bum that we needed. I think we were getting a wee bit complacent. Probably did make too many changes, probably a wee bit earlier in the season. But again, St Mirren are a right good team. He's getting them playing some right good football, by the way. That was another good result for them last night. So, if you're going to get, but St Mirren have got a good home record, so that's a hard place to go to. They've not been beat at home there for a bit. I think that's about nearly a year or something. They've not been beat at home there, so it's another good side there. So if that's it, if that's a game you're going to get beat in, you want to get beat off a team that's banging for them at home. So I would take, if somebody'd say, I would have took that. I would take that. I would bite your hand off of that if somebody had said that to me when the hands came in, that we would be sitting in this position. I'd have bit your horn off for that, 100%.
No, I agree, mate. I've got a wee comment. I was going to say a wee plunge here. A wee comment to plunge. I was expecting a really hard game, but the first half was a stroll and disappointing second half.
Agreed.
I can probably agree with you as well, mate, to be honest with you. I think the only reason it was disappointing, if you call it disappointing, was because you were 3-0 up in the first half. It's only natural sometimes for you to drop off, because let's be fair, 3-0, the game's done, unless there's a total mishap and Livingston came out with rockets up their arse. They're not going to come out and win the game. So for me, Jason, I can understand why maybe some fans at the stadium were I don't want to say disgruntled, but you were just like, come on, let's get another goal, 4 or 5, let's try. But just didn't happen for us. But you can't really complain, Jason, when you win a game at half time. A lot of people, maybe in years gone past, sometimes it was maybe nothing each with 10 minutes to go and you got last minute goals. And sometimes it's good leaving the stadium with a last minute goal, but I'd rather have a game finished at half time, and at least you can relax the second half knowing that you don't need to really go and score goals to try and win the game because the game's already done. Which for me, Jason, sometimes I know as a fan, you pay your money, you want to see goals and you want to see entertainment, you want to see those to keep going to the final whistle. But when you're 3-0 up, sometimes it is just a natural drop off to think that the game's done. Let's just go out and sort of stuff, because let's be fair, Jason, if you're 3-0 up, I just believe it's just human nature, mate, that you do drop off, and it's just natural that you don't go with the same impetus in the second half.
No, I think that's a good thing. You go out, you get the game done, and you sort of, as you say, the second half you can relax. It's not the first time we've had a result like that. We've been sitting 3-0 up at half time, and do you know what I mean? We'll probably go on to talk about that quite shortly. But nah, I can understand why people would have thought the second half was a wee bit boring, and to be honest, I probably switched off the second half. But you know, as you said, the game was 1 points in the bag, and gives you a chance to get some minutes into players like O and Awata, and do you know what I mean? The players that we've just signed. It gives you a chance to get, maybe if there's boys that have been nursing injuries, you can get them off, and you can rotate the squad a wee bit, get some subs on and that. So you know, I mean, it's, you go get the game run early, you can relax and just put your feet up and enjoy it.
No, I agree, mate. I think at half time there was a lot of fluffy jammies like yourself here, mate. JP says, if you comment for JP, nice for you joining us, JP. Evening, boys, loving the jammy bottoms, Jason. But I do think at half time, mate, it was fluffy slippers, fluffy jammies, cups of tea, because the game was finished. If you weren't at the game, you were quite happy in your house watching it, knowing the game was finished. So, but I do agree as well that maybe it was one of the games as well, Jason, that you maybe expect a bit of a harder game because the way Livingston play. We all know they're going to come and try and counter-attack with a chance to get, but also defend for life, because let's be fair, like every other team, even Rangers in the past, the last few games, they've came and they've not had any chances really, because they've been absolutely dominated, especially the first half, and the game's been done. And for me, Jason, I totally agree with you in terms of it shows you the character of the team that you don't need to actually go to the second half and play amazingly, because the game is done, and it does give you guys a bit of leeway because you can just relax, and it takes the pressure off you, because you're not having to go to the second half and we need to go and get a goal here. We need to, because it's nothing each. You've got a bit of, right, okay, the game's finished, let's go and relax, play our stuff, but I don't think it matters if we're nothing each. Or 3-0, I think we still do that anyway, but I think just mentally, you can kind of, I'm not saying switch off, but you can take a wee zap half, right, the game's finished, just keep it simple, do the simple thing, you don't rush things, don't do anything silly. And for me, Jason, you could probably say, if you want to look at it from maybe Angie's perspective, it was a professional second half. You might have scored a goal, but you've not conceded. You've still played some nice football, had some chances, and you've seen the game at 3-0 and kept a clean sheet. And yet 6 in a row or something, mate. So, all in all, you may be disappointed for the fans not to get another goal and a bit more action involved, but brilliant first half, I would say, and then maybe a professional second half.
I think people are saying the second half was boring, but as you're saying, we've managed it. We've been professional. We've defended. We're never in any great danger of conceding it. And mate, I don't remember Joe Hart. Mate, I think he made one save yesterday, and the game before that, I don't remember him making any. So we're going out, and again, it comes back to this. We're saying that we're no firing on all cylinders, but we're winning games in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was just we're looking for a wee bit more. I don't know, but I would rather get the game won in the first half, and as you can go out in the second half and just get your jammy bottoms on and just relax.
No, I agree, mate. And Barry, we've come for Barry for YouTube. Great show again, boys. Kyogo is absolutely on fire at the moment. Thanks for comment, Barry. Cheers, mate. Hope you're okay. No, I agree with Barry. Jason, we're actually going to Kyogo. I think he's been very good. again, I don't know if that's any consolation that Jackie Marcus is away and he can relax a bit more, knowing that it's kind of, I'm not saying it's his slot, but there's one less striker to obviously have competition with. I know O's come in, but O's not going to come in right away and start because Kyogo, as Barry says, is on fire, and he is the main man at the moment. Probably been Ange's main man for the start, even though I'm not a big fan of Jackie Marcus, or I was, sorry. But on Kyogo, Jason, you can't argue with his strike rate, and that's him if it's going penalties as well. I think it's 17 goals roughly, if I stand corrected, that he scored, I think. So you can't really argue 19. That, Jason. 17, 19, it's going to be that anyway, mate. He scored, I think he's 17 or something, I don't know. It's something like that. He's got, I've seen it at the start today. It's roughly like that anyway, mate. It's the top end, just below 20. And that's him. Missed a few games. Some games he's missing chances. He's not really been firing all cylinders, but he's still the top goal scorer for Celtic. Which some people give him no abuse, but some fans are saying, oh, maybe he couldn't myself sometimes. Need to give Jackie Marcus more time. We need to do this. We need to maybe change it about and play two up front. But when you've got a guy like that, his movement, the way he's playing, he's very intelligent. The only thing I don't want to make it a gripe against him or a criticism. The only thing I think he maybe he's got to improve on, but I don't think he will because it's no his game and it's no part of his makeup, is maybe how physical he is. I think sometimes he's too soft, but I think that's just him. I don't think you'll ever get him being a big muscly striker to hold it in and ruffle feathers. He does it the other way with his movement and his finishing and his direct runs. He's very intelligent, so he kind of compacts that with different things. Maybe he doesn't need to be physical because he's good at everything else. If I was to have a wee thing that I'd like him to do, it would be a bit more physical. But again, that's just me, maybe greedy, Jason. I want the perfect striker, maybe, so I don't know. But on Kyogo, Jason, I don't think any fan, I can only speak for myself here, but I don't think, in my opinion, any fan can really have any gripe about him being the main man now, because he is scoring goals, he's helping the team, and his work rate is exceptional.
No, I think and I've definitely said it, I think there's been a few fans that have been like that, but he's not the player that he was last year and all that. But he is. You know, I think Ange said that a couple of weeks ago in a presser that he's like, I don't understand why people are saying that he's off the boil or something along those lines. And he's like that. He's on fire. You know what I mean? And I think his goal, he took his goal really well last night. See if you watch him, see the way that he plays off the last striker, mate, it's frightening. It's absolutely frightening how he. I play in defence, mate, so I'm looking at it and you're like, right, I've got him under control. And you turn around and he's gone. Before you know it, the ball's in the back of the net and you're like, where is he?
That's what you said about me back today, mate.
Aye.
Until oh my knee.
Oh my knee. I actually am a defender very loosely, by the way.
Aye, that's your hardest, big man.
Aye. Got public towing a caravan these days, right enough, but nah, listen. Even when the game at Ibrox, I remember it, we were all sitting saying he's no go at it and all this, he can't do it, and then bang, you know, he doesn't. He reminds me of I don't want to say it, because I might get a bit of stick for it, but he reminds me of Henry Larsson a wee bit, but he's quiet for a full game and then bang, pops up with a goal, vital goal, like at Ibrox, you know, that we got a point. I'm not saying, so don't come at me, I'm not saying that he's on the same level as him, that's not what I'm saying, but he very much reminds me of how he plays football. He's he's a very, very intelligent footballer, and I just think that he's if he keeps scoring the way he's going, he keeps scoring the way he's going to score, he's going to have about 25, 26 goals this year. He could maybe hit 30 if he keeps up.
We comment for YouTube, Jason, from Northampton Tim. Good evening, guys. Hail, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers. No, but back to Kyogo, mate. I do agree in terms of the way he's playing at the moment. Ideally, I'd have liked, obviously, Jackie Marcus is obviously left. By all accounts, for what I can see, it's maybe a better lifestyle for his family. bit more money because you obviously got a young baby and family. So that's maybe my opinion. I can't think it's due to football reasons in terms of winning trophies or European football, because they've got that at Celtic. Maybe he's guaranteed game time away somewhere else and it's a bit more money and the lifestyle, which is fair enough, because I'm never going to disgruntle players for going away and maybe get more money for family, because it is a short career. And we have maybe just got some loyalties with some players that no, stay and no, you'll get game time, you'll get that many money here, but end of the day, mate, we all know that we're not in that position. We all don't know what's behind the scenes, but I think Kyogo, for me, is I can never compare them, Jason, because they've done different things, and for me, they've done different games to the different players, and whoever played up front, I wasn't bothered, because you know you're going to get goals, you're going to get different distributions at play, so it didn't really bother me who was playing, but. You know, when he, like you say, with Kyogo, as much as we sometimes get frustrated with him because we know he can finish chances, we know he can do this, but he can be quiet and then boom, he scores you a goal. And mate, I just believe, for me, people who play football like yourself, defender, people might play midfield, goalkeeper, whatever. Don't know if I'm just being biased because I was a striker, but I believe strikers are the most important player on the park. I don't know if that's just me being biased, but they're worth a weight in gold. That's why they're worth 50 million to 100 million, because they score you goals and they win you games. Similar for me, I believe that Edward sometimes carried Celtic some games. Griffiths carried us sometimes because of their goals. But the Jack and Max Kyogo last year, and parts of this year with Jack and Max, but Kyogo, everybody's with Celtic. It's not just on they two to score goals. Like Abada's scoring, Jota's scoring, Maeda's scoring, Hatate's pulling up now and again, Haskebanovic off the bench. You've got other guys coming and stepping in and playing. Aaron Boy's got a few now. It's not down to they two now, just to, well, Jackie Mackin was here, but it's not just down to Kyogo and Onu to score goals, because you've got everybody scoring goals, and that's another thing, Jason, we can bring up as a topic. How everybody's chipping in with goals and assists. I think Jota's
even David Turnbull's chipping with goals. I mean,
I think I'm not sure. I think Jota's. I can't remember if he got an assist last night, but it was right before last night. It was, I think, 17 goals, 17 assists. Sorry, and his appearances for Celtic, and he's only been here a year and a bit. That's phenomenal.
That's unbelievable.
But yet, other side of the city, Tillman and Ryan Kent, they're all made it amazing, but they've never any assist to Jota in the last year and a bit. But for me, Jota's brilliant, mate. But in terms of the full kind of topic of what we're talking about here, I do believe that we're not totally independent on the strikers scoring goals, because of you guys like Maeda, Jota, Abada, Haskebanovic, they're all chipping in, even Forrest now and again off the bench. Goals come from everywhere, mate, and it's not just up front.
No, I agree. Mate, I think Maeda since the World Cup has been absolutely phenomenal, by the way. I think Dyson Maeda since he came back for the World Cup is just, because before that we were all like, he's not really doing it and all that, but since he came back for the World Cup, I think he's been really, really good. Aaron Moy and all, by the way, what a player. Don't think he gets, probably doesn't he get enough praise in the media that he should. That guy is unbelievable, mate. As an unbelievable footballer. But no, everybody chips on with goals, mate. But that's a good thing about having the forward-thinking manager that we've got, is that no matter where you look on the pitch, you've got the chance of getting some goals in it. Do you know what I mean? Jota, he always pops up with a goal. Abada, mate, his goal scoring record speaks for himself. But you've even people that can come off the bench, like Turnbull can come off, get you a goal. You know. So aye. The only really one I would say that I thought would have probably got more goals is Matt O'Reilly. But I think Matt O'Reilly is really, really good. I really rate him so highly. But I thought he'd maybe have more goals yet to score this season, which is really surprising. But mate, I just think that they all chip in with goals, and that's why we've got our goal difference is plus 20, because they all want to be part of it. They all want to score goals. And I would agree with you about the striker. They are worth their weight in gold. That's why they pay the funny money for them. But I don't think we've got anybody in the team that you would turn in and say is carrying us like we have in the past, because they're all just chipping in and doing their own thing. And nobody's guaranteed as well. See, the thing is that you could go out and score 2 or score a hat-trick and then go on the bench next week with this Ange Postecoglou. Just because you score a hat-trick doesn't mean you're going to get a start next week. Because Turnbull scored 2 goals in 2 games. He's not started a game since he scored. So I think Abada scored a hat-trick this year. I've scored 2 hat-tricks this year and he was on the bench the next week. So, aye, but I can't complain with the goal scoring. It's phenomenal.
A wee comment as well, mate, from Keno, Kevin Nisbet.
No.
I don't know if that's your first time listening to the podcast, Keno. But we've kind of spoke about it briefly before. For me, I just don't think to come in and play even second choice or third choice for me. It's just not for me. Scoring goals, I know in the past guys like McDonald have come in and Griffiths. I totally get that. I can get people's arguments for signing Scottish players to come in and play with Celtic, but that's a different Celtic team. This Celtic team I want to go through. In my opinion, we want to try and finish third and second in the Champions League group stages. We're trying to qualify for Europe and go as much as we can. Do I think so? In my opinion, when it comes to signing players, I don't really focus on the Scottish League because they're probably the guys that Andrew's trying to target, Jason, are probably good enough to play Scotland. But I'm wanting to sign guys who are going to take us to the next level, i.e., guys like your Jotas and your Vickers to try and progress you into the latter stages. I'm not saying the last 8 or whatever, just try and get up to third at least in the Champions League. Try stay in Europe after Christmas and don't finish bottom and just progress every year. And as Mr. Lawwell says, he sees us as a Champions League club. You win the league issue, you're back in again, and it gives you a fresh start to go right. Last year was kind of the warm-up, get Angie into it again. Well, not into it again, into it in his first time. Get some of his players' experience, see how they go. But next year, we need to kick on. And if we finish bottom next year, obviously, Jason, it all depends on the group. If you get absolutely a criminal group, see you get like Real Madrid and like, I don't know, Bayern Munich, whoever it is, you see 3 horrendous teams, then you might need to go, right, back to square one again. We just need to try and compete and see how we go. But if you get a better group this time and you've more experience now, the manager's more experience, players have got that a year under their belt. So if you go to Europe this year and you finish bottom and you've had a decent group, you can maybe qualify for that kind of float. But then when you look at it again, it was a hard group. That's when I think Andrew will be judged. So for me, signing guys like Nisbet, is that going to get my juicy flowing? Thinking we're going to maybe do something next in Europe? I don't know. No, personally, I don't want to say I don't know because it's not gone. But I'm trying to be no disrespectful to Nisbet because in his own right, he's a good player, he's a goal scorer. But going for Celtic, Hibs, to then come up and challenge to play with Celtic at this moment in time, I don't think Nisbet even gets on Celtic bench. To be honest with you, right now, I don't think he's good enough personally. Again, I know guys can improve and get better with different managers and better players, but for me, Jason, I don't think Nisbet would be Celtic's radar, and I would be surprised if he is.
No, listen, I think Nisbet's a good player, but Hibs is his level. As you say, we're wanting to take a step into the next, try to do well in Europe, so you need a more threatening striker, somebody that's been there and done it and wore the t-shirt. We need an experienced guy to come in, maybe, I think. And I just don't think that Nisbet's the answer for that. I've seen it so much on social media about people wanting Nisbet and all that. And like I said, I don't think he's a bad player, but he's just he's not an Ange Postecoglou player anyway. I don't think. If I don't look at Kevin Nisbet and go, he would fit into that Celtic team, because you wouldn't. That's not. But then again, that's not to say that he wouldn't score goals in the league, but it's Europe. But we want to try and do something in next year, and he's just not going to be the one to take us forward, unfortunately.
No, I can agree, mate, and I think some Celtic fans probably would be the same, mate, to be honest with you. I think for me, you can get guys to come in and play in Scotland and maybe improve you when Nisbet do well for Celtic in Scotland, probably because he's going to get more service and he'll probably score better goals. But in terms of could we go and buy better? Aye. Could we buy better for Europe? Most definitely. I don't think Kevin Nisbet would be good enough, in my opinion, to go and play at the level we want to play at right now. I think the way we play, it's too quick, it's too intense. I don't use his mobile as guys like Kyogo, but like you says, that's not down to him being a bad player. That's just not his style of play. He's just to get the ball and basically put it in the net. It's a total different player that when you play with Celtic under this hand system, you've got to suit the system. You've got to suit the way he plays. And it's maybe maybe why some fans don't really, I'm not saying they don't rate Tumble, but they don't really think he can play in the system because he's known maybe his mobiles other guys, but he's still got different attributes that I think, I'm like you, Jason, I rate him highly. So, but it is trying to find him where he plays the system. But before he got injured a while ago, Ange played him every week. So obviously Ange likes him to some capacity, but he's another one that's what's opinion mate with some fans. But in terms of Nisbet, thanks for the wee comment, good wee topic. But I think, Jason, between me and you, I think we can say that it's probably a no. But wee comment as well for JP. What about wee Oxo last night? I'll let you comment on that, Jason.
It was absolutely a different gravy, JP, wasn't it? Nah, we were saying that before we came on. His goal was really good. He took his goal well. I've never seen a player transform so much under a manager in my life. Greg Taylor is outstanding. The way that he plays and the way he conducts himself is just unbelievable. His work rate is second to none. I just think that he's very, very, very good. I didn't think he was that good under Neil Lennon. But since Ange has come in, he's just told him how he wants to play, and it just suits him right down to a T. And he's added a few goals into him as well. That's the second one he scored against Livingston. So, but no, I really rate him. I think the guy's brilliant. For me, that he's the best left back in Scotland, I think.
Oh, I don't say, mate. Anybody who listens to the podcast in previous weeks and months and even last year, you know yourself, mate, I wasn't his biggest fan. I didn't think he was going to play this year. I didn't think he was good enough to play in Europe for us and take us to the next level. But listen, I'm just a fan. But you can only see and comment from what you see. At the time, Greg Taylor, it wasn't just me. There was a lot of other fans saying, right, he's done okay, but he's kind of a command player playing with Celtic. That wasn't disrespectful. That was just, he's gave the command up. He's no played at the level we're trying to play at. He couldn't adjust to it. He wasn't playing well. I know we're still winning the league, etc., but he wasn't doing that I thought he was going to maybe do. He was used to playing defensively. He wasn't used to getting up the park and getting the ball in the box, etc., etc. But you've got to, like I've said in probably the podcast when I speak to JP, I hold my hands up now and say, listen, I know I can say he's playing well. He's far superior than he was. He's transformed, and he's got to be picked every week. Bernabei, as much as I think Bernabei will come good, I know he's not been seen the last two games, whether that's injury or he's get rested or he's been told you're not playing till you develop again. I don't know. We don't know of behind the scenes. But I think we don't need to spend too much on Taylor, mate, talking about him, but JP's right. He was very good last night. He's been good just about every game this year he's played. Apart from the game recently, against United, I thought he was poor. But he did come back after a wee time out. Again, I don't think that's an excuse personally. I just think he played poor. But we all have bad games. I had bad games.
See on Greg Taylor, Ryan. See on Greg Taylor. I thought, see when he went off at Ibrox, that's when I thought the game would be sort of went a wee bit downhill then. Because I thought when we took him off, it we were a wee bit shaky. I remember not if you got Juranovic on, but he's so assured there, and you just know that when he's there, that you don't need to worry about it.
No, I agree, mate. Obviously, it's a wee topic from obviously Juranovic. JP says JJ and Jackie Marcus push for the moves from their side. Overall, we want to have players. What about Celtic?
100%.
I think again, I'm not disagreeing with JP, but again, we obviously don't know everything behind the scenes. I think Jackie Marcus, he's probably pushed for it with his agent. Jackie Marcus, Juranovic, again, that was probably, again, due to the World Cup. And obviously there was interest as well for the summer. But I've always said as well, Jason, these players will be happy at Celtic unless somebody says something to them, i.e. their agent or whatever. Look, by the way, man, you're wanting or something. Oh, are they? Aye, right. So you're only natural to your mind to go, all right, man, you, more money, bigger stadium, bigger, obviously. I mean, for me, obviously, Man U in terms of money wise, etc. They're a bigger club of Celtic. Let's be fair. We can't really say or no that they're a bigger club of Celtic. If that's the rumours, players' heads a bit go and agents talk and people behind their back talk. Sometimes it is hard to just totally forget about it. Well, I would think so. It's all right saying your folks on Celtic, but in the back burner, you're like, if I get an injury here, I might not get my move to here or here or here. It's just the way football is these days, and it shouldn't be, but it just is. Money talks. I think that I don't know if, for me, if Juranovic pushed for it, we don't know that. I don't know if he did. By the media, if you go by the media and you go by wee things, he might have. But the fact that he still played in a semi-final, and obviously still thought he was Celtic still here, mentally he was still at Celtic. I thought he plays well in the semi-final. I thought he was really good actually. As I said to my dad at the game, that for me that kind of proved at the moment that he was still the best right back at the club. He was still the right back, because the semi-final, surely you play your best right back. I don't know if that's just he was rotating because Johnson plays a few games, but obviously he's away now, Jason, but by all accounts he started well in Germany, so best of luck to him. I know I heard the day that Fabrizio Romano said that Man U were generally looking at him if Wan-Bissaka didn't stay, which again I'm not surprised, Jason. People have got their opinions on JJ when he was here. They prefer Ralston. Ralston's a better stats, etc. But I can only go on my opinion, Jason, and stats can show you a lot of things. Well, stats showed you that Hatate might not be one of the best players at Celtic or the best midfielder, but for me, he's top. Last night showed that. He's absolutely top. So any stats about Hatate, for me, just let them up and blow them into the water. Get them away, because his stats don't all show you everything. For me, I'm a big believer in stats, Jason, to a certain degree, but I'm the biggest believer on your naked eye. And you can tell a player by a 5-10 minute look at a player. You can tell his touch, his passing, the way he sees a play, the way he just scans. That's another word, isn't it? Scanning, that's another word, isn't it? Not much look at your shoulder, scanning. There's a lot of things you can see with a player, and just even 5-10 minutes of a play. Because I done it when Jackie Marcus signed, right? And when he came on the bench, I looked at him when he just came on, and I seen just from 5-10 minutes when he came on, I thought, this big man's got something. You can just sense by somebody. You can obviously can't judge a player, but you can just sense he's got something. Then obviously longer term, you're thinking he'll show that as it goes on. But I don't know what you feel, mate. But on Juranovic, mate, best of luck to him. And when he was here, I know it's back over all grounds, Jason, but just because JP mentioned it, when he was here, I still feel he was the best right back. Even with Johnson here at the moment, Johnson's done very well, but you can't totally judge Johnson yet because he's just here. For me, Juranovic was still the best right back at the club in my opinion. Again, stats might tell him otherwise, but in terms of man naked eye and what I've seen being Juranovic, he made all mistakes, but we all make mistakes. Hearts made mistakes. We've all made mistakes on the park. So for me, Juranovic is a top player, mate.
No, listen, you don't get him. You don't have all these clubs looking at you if you're no. I thought the semi-final was very, very good. He was absolutely outstanding in that World Cup. Juranovic, but it's leaving up for debate. He was the best right back in this league without a shadow of a doubt. It was just, he could defend, but he could bomb forward and all. And he went with my blessings. I really thought, I think he probably deserved his move, to be honest, after the World Cup. But people, if some people still turn around and say when he was there and say that Ralston was better than him, my dearie me, man. That'll just, football isn't for you if that was your opinion. I mean, I like Ralston, I do, but if it was Ralston or Juranovic wins all day long. I don't even know how it gets made into a discussion, to be honest. For
me, it's not a discussion, mate, but we've all got our opinions. Some some fans might like Ralston because of the stats show he was better defensively. I get that. I can totally get it. We've all got different opinions.
It's like people that pure go, but Starfelt isn't that good. Starfelt's class and his record speaks for itself.
The only thing with Starfelt is maybe picky. He is prone to a mistake, but he has been good. You can't criticise his and Vickers' record. The thing is, well, next to Vickers, if he does make a mistake, the way we play, maybe in Europe you might get punished, right? I get that, but as it stands in Scotland, Vickers has set a cover, and it's the same if Vickers does anything, which isn't anything bad. It's not very often, but Starfelt set a cover. They've got a good understanding, and like you say, mate, the record in the league tells you everything. I think every game they've started, they've no lost.
Aye, then there you go. So I mean, in that I just don't understand it. People go, I bet that one bad game at Tynecastle, but it was in the door 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And then the first game you go to, you play in is Tynecastle, is Hearts away. I don't know. I just think Starfelt's really, really good. I really like him. I think Kobayashi's good as well. People, and see the thing I know with Starfelt is people forget he's not a natural left-sided centre back, so he actually plays out of positions every week, and he still. And I think he still does. I think he does it very, very well. To be honest.
A wee comment for Plunge Jason. Who do you want Ange to sign who will score goals in the Champions League, and how much do you think he will cost? For me, Plunge, again, I can't say who I would sign because it's very hard to say. I can say we can go and get Messi. It's not going to happen. So it's very, very hard to say who I want. And listen, I know a few players that maybe play Europe that I'd like to sign. One player who was, but I know he's a bit Roman who was sold back, and I thought he would do really well for us. He'd be suited by be play, but he's a bit Roman, I think. So, guys, there's certain markets where the guy, we don't know much about him. He could be the next star that takes us with Kyogo. The thing is as well, Kyogo's getting a year experience in Europe. I think it's his first year in Europe because he's played in, obviously, Japan, etc. Most of his career. So it's his first spell in Europe in Champions League. He'll know next year what he's got to do, i.e. finishing chances. He'll be more wiser in what he's got to do with defenders, etc. So when you play at a level every year, so see if we know if we win the next 3, 4, 5 years, I'm guessing, I can only guess that we'll win it every year unless maybe something changes, i.e. the coefficient or the point system or whatever, or if they change the way they work it. So they'll have more experience every year. We weren't in the Champions League, I think it was for 5 years or so. So maybe some of us will maybe just because it's your team and you've got faith in your players that you think, right, we'll maybe finish third. Why don't we dream and try and finish second? But let's be fair, see if you actually think we're ahead. We were fourth choice, we were fourth seed for a reason because we were expected to finish fourth. So you can't be too downbeat. The only reason we're downbeat was because of the games. We went toe-to-toe with probably the best team in the world, Real Madrid at the time, because obviously they're the champions. And two or three chances, if they go in, McGregor's goes in. If that's against St Mirren at home, that's a goal. It's just that night. That's
the difference, but
it's a difference. And then Maeda missed the chance. And I'm not saying we ran out of puff, but I think they knew half a minute to go. Listen, we need to get something here. We need to just. They went up a few gears, and that's where the class took care, the quality took care. Guys like Tony Cruz and Modric and Vinicius just went, right, let's go, let's step up here, and they scored 3 goals. And it was phenomenal goals. For me, the goals are very good, but I had a bit of, I know we're talking about how good he was, but Jan has done a wee bit better. I think Vickers, one of the goals I thought could have done a wee bit better, but you can't really criticise too much because they were good. I'm sure it was Vickers. Was he no injured? Was it Vickers? I can't remember. I'm sure it was Vickers. One of the goals. But you can't really criticise them because they went toe-to-toe for 60 minutes for the best in the world, and everybody was expected to get absolutely horsed. I wasn't expected to win. I was expected to get beat because of how good Real Madrid were. I know we're good at Celtic Park and European nights, and I get that. a European record actually in Europe hasn't been that good recently. It's been quite shambolic, to be fair, recently. But I mean, in general, in Scotland, we're good at Celtic Park, so you're thinking European nights, under the lights, big atmosphere, first game back in Europe, and blah, blah, let's go. And it just didn't happen for us. But I think the consensus, Jason, is we were downbeat because we could have got more points and we should have got more points. But overall, I can't, the new plunge, say who I would like to sign, etc. 9 times out of 10, Jason, if you want to go and buy a top draw striker, you need to pay the money, which means 10, 15, over the odds. Celtic could pay £10 million for a player and give him 50, 60 a week, but then that's your budget just about finished. That's your budget done. So you've got iron out. Do you go out and buy a striker to go and win you the games, but then no buy anybody else? So you've got to you've got to balance the books in a way here. So I'd love Celtic to go and do an Edward again and pay £9-10 million and get a quality striker. Because let's be fair, I know Jason, people have got their opinions on Edward because of the way he left, maybe no been up to it and maybe no trying, etc. But he scored 20 goals or something that season and that was him no up to it. So I know he's not been the best at Crystal Palace, but I can all comment on what he's done for us, Jason. And a guy like Edward, could he be a difference to get you to the next level? Maybe, I don't know. But in terms of that, Jason, I don't know what you feel, mate, but I don't think I can really comment on you because for Celtic going to pay a lot of money for a player again, I don't see Celtic doing that under Ange the way he's doing his recruitment.
No, I don't think so either. Nobody really springs to mind. But imagine an Odsonne Edouard in that Ange Postecoglou team. Oof. I think he would have excelled in Europe for us, by the way, in that setup. Odsonne Edouard under Postecoglou. Why? I think he'd have been frightening. But I don't know. I think the days you're signing £9-10 million players are very much behind us because I think Ange, from what I took it seems to be that he likes to buy 2 and 3 players rather than just buy the one, which again is fine.
Yeah.
But you don't know, maybe it just needs Kyogo to get that one goal in the Champions League next year and that's it, and he just starts firing them in. You just don't know. He was unlucky. I think a lot of it with that Champions League run this year was just a lot of it was down to us that our luck just wasn't in on the day. You know, as you say with that McGregor one, excuse me, against St Mirren, that's a goal. Against Real Madrid, that hits a bar. Do you know what I mean? Abada and all. He just thought about it too much when he was running through. If that's in the league, it's probably a goal. But people forget that it's a very, very relatively young squad and it's their first time in the Champions League together. A lot of teams that do well in Europe have been together for 2, 3, 4 years. They know each other inside out. Do you know what I mean? So I think we just need to, I think he'll just stick with it and he'll just maybe bring in 1 or 2. But it all depends who goes in the summer though. Because obviously people will sell somebody.
I would imagine so, mate. I know you spoke about him. Maybe O'Reilly could be one. I know he's been a wee bit of flat the last few games because he's not been up to it. I didn't think he was actually up to it last night. I thought he was quite poor last night. Well, I say poor, just not up to standards that we're used to him playing. Again, we don't know if things are happening behind the scenes with him. I get on, it's just poor form. It's just down to poor form, and he's maybe needing a rest. We don't know. But I do believe we will sell somebody, Jason. Maybe it is going to be guys like O'Reilly. I'd probably say he's maybe the only one you maybe think about, Jason, that could be maybe going because guys like Jota for me are on 2 long contracts for guys to come and get cheap money. Vickers again, O'Reilly's probably going to go for decent money if he does go. So I think this is where Celtic, for whatever reason, is Celtic if it's for cheap. It doesn't happen again with him and Jack and Marcus. Whoever goes next year in the summer, they've got to go for good money because they're worth a weight in gold, some of these players, i.e. your Jotas. Again, I don't think he'll ever leave Celtic, but McGregor, if guys are going for 40-50 million down south, for Anthony Gordon's gone for 40, whatever, surely guys at Celtic should be going for that. Even, listen, I know people are going to go all Rangers players, but as much as I don't think Ryan Kent's been up to much this year, I do believe he's got potential in terms of if he plays in a better system, I think he does better. And he will have his shooters down south, Jason, because I know he's only got a wee bit left his contract. Rangers probably will give him a good deal, but guys like him will have suitors because of his profile. So, but another wee comment as well, the last bit, and then we'll go into something else, Jason. It's from John. Need to get Benfica Academy people. They get unbelievable players. I seen that, John. I think we've seen that on Jason Nims in the group chat. I think it was Robert or JP put it in about Benfica like selling players and buying players, and the way the way these teams work is brilliant. The way they recruit players and they get money in, and the way they use the money, they buy cheap, sell big. Similar to what we're doing, but the way they sell players, it's for mega money. It's like that guy Fernandes. It's crazy money. Just because he plays in the World Cup, his values went kaboom. Don't know what you feel about that, Jason, but I totally agree that I don't believe that our academy youth system, compared to the first team, Jason, I think it's a massive jump. I know Vata's come in and played, looks a good prospect. Blue Boss and Lowell looks a good player. Lowell, sorry. I know he's mentioned Anderson and Ben Summers, Ange. These guys are good prospects, but do I feel right now they can come in and play every week with the first team? No, I think the golf's too big. They feel they need chances to play. Of course, they need chances to play. But when do you give them chances, Jason? I want our guys to come in and play with the first team and develop and maybe go to better things, etc. But when you're going for trophies every week, you need to win every week. You need to play your best players every week. When do you fit them in? Is it cup games against Morton and then you don't play them again for the rest of the season? Or is it when the league's finished, you play them once or twice? Because for me, Jason, I know that's reserve league's coming back, right? But Celtic in it. I'd love us to play in the reserve league because they're playing against first team players, they're getting first team experience, i.e. playing against guys starting down, maybe injured or suspended. They're playing against physically fit athletes who have had experience and guys who, just for talk's sake, I'm trying to think of first team players. Just here, David Turnbull, right? Came back from injury. He's playing the reserve team for one game to get 90 minutes. I know David Turnbull's a young guy, but think of the experience that these guys can get for David Turnbull. Just talking through the game and telling me, just read tricks, listen, play it simple, turn here, play it there. I know he's always coaching them, but he's just giving them tips. And I think the young guys will listen to him, Jason, because he plays with the first team. He plays where I want to get to, so I'm going to listen to this guy. Maybe Turnbull's not the best guy to use, but maybe somebody older, maybe, I don't know, maybe like Scott Bain, right? I know he's not really done amazing for Celtic, but he's a first team goalie. He's a third choice. Say he plays for reserves. All his talking, his experience, he can talk to the defenders, tell them what to do. He knows how to play the first team way. So if you do that in the reserves, I don't think it will ever happen, Jason. I don't know why. Well, I love it to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen now. I don't know why it's not happened. Is it because Ange doesn't want it? I don't know. But I would love that reserve league to come back, and obviously the way we work the academy, Jason, how do you combat getting the guys in and playing and then selling them on for big money?
I've been really disappointed with the Celtic Academy because it was like Karamoko Dembele is meant to be this big player. Never done it. He's went to Preston by all accounts. He's not really played very much football there either, by the way. The last really one I remember that came through and had done well, probably James Forrest, I would think, that came through. Kieran Tierney as well. But with the players that in that youth system, there should be more coming out of it. I think there should be more players coming out of it. I don't really understand what being in the Lowland League is achieving, because if they win it, they don't get promoted anyway. So really, the other teams in the league will be like, well, if we finish third, we'll get promoted anyway. Then I get it that they're like it's competitive football and all that, but I'm with you. I think the reserve league will be good. I mean, can you imagine like when Callum McGregor was out with his injury, with his knee, and he was back? He's playing a reserve match and you're 16, 17, you're like, there's actual Celtic captains playing a game beside me. He talks you through a game of football. That's what we need. So I think that I'm all for the reserve league coming back. I don't see the need. I don't see the point in this Lowland League. I don't understand. I don't see the point in it. I think that boy Vata is good,
Mm-hmm.
but whether how many's went? That who was the boy, the wee boy that went into Blackpool?
What,
Remember?
for Celtic?
Just the start of the season. Played a few games last year. Moffat or something. Be Moffat or something.
Moffat, aye, that's it. Moffat, aye, that's him.
Why is he went into Blackpool? Was it because he knows he's not good enough to play in the Celtic first team?
Or he maybe knows
Calvin Miller. Calvin Miller plays for Morton.
Maybe the boy Moffat knows he's maybe not going to get a game, so he's wanting to maybe go down and get more experience. Again, we can only speculate as fans, but I don't think the boy Moffat was going to play at Celtic. He looked okay, but I don't think, obviously, Andrew's obviously run real over him and says, I don't think he can come up in progress. Calvin Miller, I'm sure he was he a striker or a winger, and then Rodgers was putting him at left back and left mid, and no, I'm sure he was a striker. He was doing well up front, and then I think Rodgers was playing him at wide.
He got left back at Rugby Park or something.
Aye, he was playing him at left back, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if Rodgers maybe changed position and it didn't help him. Again, we can only speculate as fans, mate. A wee last comment on this topic, mate. JP says KT, Forrest, McGregor, Ralston and Welsh all came through and won trophies and medals. No, totally, JP, I totally get what you're saying, mate. They're probably the only guys you can say that have come through and done well.
Man, Stephen Welsh is absolutely he's that. Don't even start me, Stephen Welsh, man.
It's a bit harsh, big man.
I know it is, but he's not a Celtic player, let's be honest.
No, on Welsh, mate, I can agree. He's not going to be, for me, he's not a guy to come in and play every week and improve his. He is a Celtic, I'm sure he's a Celtic fan. He's a Celtic man, he knows he's meant to play here. He's done okay to get through the academy and play with Celtic's first team. He's obviously got something, but I agree with you in terms of playing every week, etc. I don't think he's good enough. There's other guys as well.
If he was good enough, he wouldn't have been signed Kobayashi.
No, listen, I get that. No, I get it. I get that. I totally get that, mate. He's done okay to get through. The only thing I can agree, JP, with like KT, Forrest, McGregor, I would say they're the three main ones. Ralston, he's done okay. He's done okay to get through the youth. He's done well, same as Welsh. But KT, Forrest, and McGregor's only three that you would say that have went on to mega heights.
McGeady.
And obviously, good one, McGeady. That's another one, McGeady. But I'm talking about as in recently. But in terms of this proper team, you talk about Ian McGeady all day long. Guys like Sean Maloney, Jamie Smith came through, Colin Healy with injuries. You can talk about a lot of guys. I'm talking Ross Wallace, I'm just talking about, say, the last 5 to 10 years, guys who I can remember, the top of my head, that have done amazing well. KT, Ford McGregor. I know Maloney, JP says Maloney, we get Jamie Smith in the past, young guys for like, loads. Jamie as well. Jamie's put Henderson as well. Liam and Ewan Henderson, they've come through as well. But the top youth guys that have come through and done that brilliantly, you would say it's Avery. So for me, I don't know if we need to improve in terms of the way we work. I just don't know. I just think it's maybe just the players on the other now, Jason. I think just football's moving on, and is it coaching? Is it the way? I know the way Andrew's trying to do it, Jason. He's trying to make it the way like we've said in loads of podcasts. Me and JP have spoken about it a lot. That they had to go for the first team to, but the under 10s upwards. Obviously, I'm not saying under 10s have to do this, but the full pathway to get to the first team, do it the same way. So if Andrew's playing 4-5-1, if that's what he's playing, play 4-5-1 all the way through. If he's playing 4-3-3 all the way through, do it all the way through. Don't just take the first team, because we noticed it when the Dubai thing happened, when Oko Flex and that came in, they looked lost. They looked like they didn't know what we're doing in the first team, because it wasn't the same way all the way through. And I feel, Jason, that the way they're doing it now, they're trying to do it the same way, so it might improve. But I agree with you, mate, in terms of this league. I don't know what they're getting out of it, apart from getting 90 minutes. They're either playing football. I get that. It's competitive. But why go and try and win a league when you can't get a trophy? Like, you can't go up and win it. Like, you can't move up a league. You can't. It's just another learning.
I don't know why they don't just do it where they go up as far as the Championship, and then that's it. Because that's what they do. I'm sure that's what they do in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Like Real Madrid B and Barca B go right up. They can't, but they can't go into the Premier League, but they can play up, and they just don't play in the cup or they can't play in the cup competitions or something. But
I think it's for me, Forrest, KT, McGregor's only three that I can think of that have been like superstars. Like I've been totally flying at the traps for the youth system. But KT was younger. He was brilliantly in the first team when he was young. He came in, I think he was 17, roughly 18. I think 17 when he came into the team, wasn't he? Boom, straight into the team and played. It wasn't like he was coming like Vater and guys like that for 5-10 minutes. He started slowly, but he was getting game time, and then boom, he was flying after. I think it was after 5 to 10 games. He was the first choice left back. It's very hard to understand. Guys in the past have went to, I think Boy Morrison, etc. They went to Bayern Munich. I totally get that, but if they guys are seeing something in these players, Jason, how do we know? Because what annoyed me about the Ben Doak situation was I know the boy wanted to leave there. Well, so we've heard that he wanted to go out of Glasgow. So I don't know if that's true, but he's went to Liverpool. By all accounts, he's doing well. He's in the first team now. Klopp likes him. He's getting game time. Why is it when we heard of interest to other clubs, they then decided to put him on the bench and then play him in games to show, right, this is what we can show you. But why does it take somebody to come in for you or interest the ball before we start doing that? Why no date if you feel they're good enough? Date then. No wait until somebody come in for you.
I know. I don't know. It's as if that's what they need to sort of push people out, right? Well, we can play, you know. We've got a bit of recognition, and there's people always say you must be a good player if that club's looking at you. I don't know. But Ben Doak's obviously a good player.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think that Vata's going to be. I think he'll probably go. For what I seen at Easter Road, I thought it looked all right. That boy Vata. I don't know. It's as if we're too scared to take the gamble. See if they're old enough and they're good enough, they play. Kieran Tierney proved that. Wayne Rooney proved that. If you're old enough, you play, and you're good enough, then you play. Mm-hmm. I don't understand it. It comes back to this pure backward Scottish philosophy that you can't really play it until you're 23. It's a lot of nonsense, man. You're good enough to play at 6. Mm-hmm. Play.
See, I just don't know. Again, there's guys that have played for Celtic youths and they played a few first team games. But we don't know what goes behind the scenes. We don't know if it's due to attitude, if it's due to the club side, and they know support. We don't know behind the scenes why some guys have failed. Is it due to the club? Is it due to the parents? Is it due to the player? Is it due to coaching? Is it due to we are only privileged to know all that detail, so we can only, as fans, we can only kind of speculate to accumulate. But in my opinion, Jason, I don't think the youth's terrible. I just think we need to find ways of progressing it to maybe try and get them in the first team. But this is what I'm saying. I don't know how you do it, because you're trying to win league titles, you're trying to win doubles, trebles, get into European football. When do you play them? That goes with me. You're saying if you're good enough, I feel the manager plays you right away. Well, not right away, but he'll beg you in the team. You'll play maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 15, 20, and you won't bench all the time, and he'll build you up and play you. But some of these guys come in for 5-10 minutes, and then they're back down to the reserves or the development squad, and then they're no seen for 10 weeks, 12 weeks, and that's him. Like even with the Berry, even once or twice away again, once or twice away. That I know this under 21 rule, so I've got to go on the bench. Because obviously we've got some young guys, so they don't always need to be on the bench. But some guys come on the bench because I think that's rule. I don't know if it's still, I'm sure that's still in place. So they've got to be on the bench. It's just to fill the subs. But why can they then be on the bench 1 week and then they're no seen for months later? That's what I don't get.
I don't understand that either. I don't. So, again, if you're good enough to be on the bench, you're good enough to play, surely. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I totally get what JP's saying on the fact that if they guys are special talents, that's why they only come once a blue moon. Oh, I get that, JP. I totally get that. But when they are special talents that have to come by, but if they're good enough, showing a good bit of form, put them on the bench at least, put them on and see how they are. But I feel that any guy in the youth system, who's good enough to come in and play to start with Celtic. Again, I don't see them every week. I see them now and then on Celtic TV. You see bits and bobs of highlights, and I've seen a few games, etc. Do I feel any of them can step in and play in the first team right now every week and play? I don't think they're good enough personally right now. Do I feel? I get JP's comment as well. Ryan, you can play them against Murray, County Livy until reach a certain degree, a certain stage of development to try them against Hibs, Aberdeen, Hibs, etc. Build them. I get what you're saying, JP, but for me, when you're trying to go for league titles, you can't just play them in a game and then no play them again. You've got to give St Mirren as much respect as you can at Aberdeen and Hibs and Rangers. So I don't feel you can just throw them into a game and go, right, there you go and play. Obviously, they've got to get a chance somehow. They've got to play somehow. If that means start them against Morton in the Cup and then the next week put them on the bench, put them on for the first team and build it. Unless they're special talents like your KTs. He was good enough to win because eventually he bulked up, he get fitter. I.e. he done that by playing, but he was good enough to play right away. I don't think, Jason, the last bit before we end the show, mate, I don't think most of these guys are able to step in right now and perform to the levels that Ange wants us to play them now. It's just my opinion, but I totally get what JP's saying. You've got to give him a chance somehow, but I don't think you can just throw him in out the blue. They've no kicked the ball and then, you know what, but I wait to Livy, right, on you go. I don't feel, in my opinion, you can do that right now, but it's just my opinion. But I do get what JP's saying.
No, I get what JP's saying and all, but I would agree with you. Ange obviously doesn't trust these boys enough to play them, or he would play them, because I think he strikes me as the type that he'd give them a chance, but because he sees them every day, so he can't be seen enough for them, and he's let a few of them go, like that boy Robertson. He's let him go. Do you know what I mean? And he's let that Moffat and that go. So,
see, I found that dead strange, mate. I think I said it to JP as well, and my old man as well. I'm sure it was Leipzig away at home. I'm sure it was away. Because I texted JP saying I couldn't believe Robertson was on the bench. And then after that, if they were to be seen, I just didn't understand it. I said, why are you putting them away on the bench in a European game, but yet then you can't play them in the league? That's what I didn't understand.
Because I think in Europe, but you know, you don't need to have certain players in Europe and they're on the bench. That's why you...
No, I get that. I get that. But surely there's other guys that maybe been close to the periphery of playing, but he was away on loan, then came back and never seen anyone in the squads, and then he was on the bench. I'm thinking, all right, that's a bit of a surprise. But then we heard that Ange liked him, and then he was a bit of Fleetwood. I just didn't get it. Maybe at that time he was showing form in training for Ange to pick him, but then he put him on the bench in his Leipzig, and then he was never seen. I think he came on and played one game, and then that was him. He was away again. I just don't get it, Jason. But your last thoughts on that, mate, and then we'll end the show, mate. I've kept you enough, and I see you get the jammies on, so you might get your bed.
That was a weird one for me, mate, either. I don't know if he's just... You don't know, again, but you don't know what's on behind the scenes. Maybe, I don't think he was too happy that he spoke to the papers or something about letting him move on. Maybe he's doing like that. Well, if you're going to... Because Ange doesn't strike me as if he takes any nonsense off people. So maybe he's just been like that, you know, but you're off. And that's why he's never really played again. But best of luck to that to the boy Robertson. Do you know what I mean? But I think more needs to be done in regards to our youth setup. We're not bringing it enough talent.
No, I'm sure it's 2 million or something. I know that was the last quote I heard roughly that Celtic put into youth. So that's a lot of money. And if you're not churning out guys, you're kind of spending money and then you're not producing anything. But I totally get guys like Ralston and Welsh. You're producing guys to come and play, but maybe again, is it not enough? Again, people.
No, but ultimately, you want to have a selling profit for these players.
Aye.
Didn't he?
True.
So what, you want to make profit on them? That's the goal. I don't know.
Last week comment, mate, for JP says, don't let him kid you on, man. He's got a date at 10:30 somewhere else. Aye, we all know what that is, big man, don't we?
Aye.
I think it's
things we can't speak about on this.
Is that there, big man? It's there.
Ah, there it is. That's the one.
No, but again, Jason, it's good to have you on, mate. And again, anybody who's listened in and commented, thanks very much. It's much appreciated. If you like the content, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the wee red bell that says subscribe on the channel, and you'll get any live videos or wee short videos, etc. when we go live, and any that go on the page. Myself and Jason are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and also you can search the page Celtic Unrestricted View on YouTube. You'll find it on YouTube. You'll find it on Twitter and Facebook, and you'll get us on TikTok as well. For some wee jazzy videos when we upload the episodes. But again, Jason, it lasts for yourself, mate. Hope you've had a good wee chat tonight, mate. And hail, mate, and stay safe and enjoy the rest of your night, mate.
Hail. Cheers, man. Cheers.
You look as if you have just come straight away for the Green Brigade.
Aye, with a meeting at 6:30, mate.